everyone. I'm Mona Lisa Joshi and I'm back again with another video, and this time I'm really excited because this is not going to be those excerpt reading series or book promotion. It is a book promotion video though, but it has a different element to it because I have started this new journey of sharing some of the recipes that I've learned from my mother, from my grandmother, during my teenage days, during my growing up years, and now that I'm a Pahari woman. I'm married into a Pahari household. I was earlier a Bengali. Those of you who know me must be aware that I belong to Calcutta, and now I'm married into a Pahari household, of which I'm very proud of because it's an amalgamation of two cultures, and I've learned few recipes from this part of land as well. So I'm going to share those as well. And today is going to be a special video because I have decided to share and cook in front of you a recipe that I learned from my grandmother, and later on the proper version of it from my mother practically, because from my grandmother I used to relish that recipe. It's basically a dessert, a Bengali divine dessert, which all Bengalis are proud of when it comes to Khejur Gurer Payas. This is what we call there. It's also called as Nolen Gur or Nodun Gur, date palm jaggery in English, and Payas means kheer or pudding. And this book holds the story Calcutta Pudding, which is one of the stories that I found inspiration from this recipe only. And today I'm really excited to share this process of cooking it on slow flame and also let it simmer, and then in between give you some details about this beautiful dessert. And this is a Bengali dessert that all Bengalis are proud of, and also those of outside the West India culture, North Indians, even if they have tried this recipe, they really love it, because I have personally experienced this. Because whenever I have created this recipe and I have shared this with my family members, they have always loved it. But somehow I really did not have the access to these ingredients, and I don't get the time to go outside so much because I'm really occupied with so many other things. Those of you who do not know me and have just started watching this video, first of all I would like to request you, please do subscribe to my channel, because I'm not only a writer, I'm a publisher, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a poet, and I also run my YouTube channel, and I'm a digital content creator, and also I'm a graphic designer. I design books and coffee table books, and I'm a sari lover. And of course, I'm a foodie, and I also love to cook. So many things that I have to share with you, and this is going to be a beautiful journey altogether. And about this dessert, I have to tell you that Khejur Gurer Payas is something that whenever winter is cascading or winter is coming in Kolkata and it starts, that there's this cold nip in the air, and people start going to buy this Khejur Gur, Notun Gur, which is basically date palm jaggery, and then it is made with a very special kind of rice, that is Govindabhog, which is small grains of rice, and it has an aromatic fragrance that really is the magic that blends with the payesh, and it is something that becomes divine. And Govindabhog or this small grain rice has a certain aroma that really fills into the air so easily when you start cooking this recipe, this dessert. And I'm going to show you step by step, but I have to tell you that I'm really a beginner here. I'm not a pro, so if there are some faults or errors in the presentation of my preparation of this Khejur Gurer Payas, do forgive me, and I promise that with time my videos would be even more better. But I have to tell you that I'm going to share some of the few recipes that I'm very proud of cooking, and I really relish cooking them. And I have created some of my own versions of those recipes. because you must be getting the idea by now that now two of the cultures in me have combined. So whenever I'm trying to create something, those two cultures are always there, and the taste is something, the mixture of both. But this one, this Khejur Gurer Payas or the Calcutta Pudding, the story that I've also written inspired from this recipe, is something that I've remained true to it, true to my heart, and also true to its ingredients. So I have waited so that I could acquire those ingredients, and I've been lucky because I got those from Amazon, and I ordered them. And I ordered this Khejur Gurer, the date palm jaggery, especially from Odisha, and the Govinda Bhog was easily available from Kolkata through Amazon, of course. So I procured them, and then I have to start this recipe with you. I'll show you the step-by-step recipe. And before I start the recipe, let me just read a little bit of an excerpt of how this Calcutta pudding is similar to what we are going to cook today, and how Devi found solace from all of her life agonies and miseries by creating this Calcutta pudding. I have chosen to give this name as Calcutta pudding so that easily people can relate. But this is just the same thing, only I have used, in my story, I've used the basmati rice version of it, because for some time now I was preparing this paesh with basmati rice also, just because of the aroma. But it did not get the texture I have always wanted. So this time I was lucky that I got Govinda Bhog. So let me read an excerpt, and in between also we will do a lot of talking, and also I will read something to you from this story from this book, Calcutta Pudding. And this is my debut fiction. This is available on Amazon and Flipkart, and if you want a signed copy, you can easily get it from Amazon, or you can DM me and I would be providing you a signed copy, and maybe you get something special along with this book. So let me read out an excerpt from this story, Calcutta Pudding, or the Khejur Gurer Payas. It's the English version name, I would say. So the story, I'm not able to find the pages. I'm flipping through, and just a little wait. And OMG, this is taking a little more time. Please bear with me. Don't leave the video, or don't leave the channel in in the mid of this video, because you will regret, because I have created this beautiful video only for you, and I'm really going to be cooking with you in front of you, and you have to join me and we will cook along. And maybe if you're watching it later, you can get the ingredients by then, and you can then enjoy this recipe by preparing it and giving it to your loved ones. They will surely love it. So let's read an excerpt from Calcutta Pudding, and I'll read this part here. The dusk was beautiful, with crimson clouds floating in the vast sky, which made the whole world appear red to Devi's eyes. She was sitting on the facade of a French window, gazing at that sublime view and loving the flowing breeze that was coming as a soothing sensation to her skin on that hot summer evening. The air was typically humid in the month of June in Splendid, and it was making the mood of the inmates of the manor house weary. But Devi was finding much inspiration in that summer twilight for writing her poems. She was scribbling something in her diary when suddenly she heard echoing sirens, and she noticed a troop of soldiers marching in front of their manor house. I will read a little bit of more during the preparation of this recipe, but I have to tell you one thing, that this is a beautiful love story also, but there are some places where you will find some of the sad part of the love story. But then the Calcutta pudding is my Calcutta pudding basically is that recipe which makes Devi escape from her gloomy world. So to know more, you just pick this copy from Amazon or Flipkart. And now let's begin with actually cooking Khejur Gurer Payas or Calcutta pudding with Govindabhog rice. So come along. So let's start. I've taken whole full cream milk and let's light up the gas and put this pot on the flame. And I've taken this special handi because I really like the way you can stir your payas, and also it looks beautiful to me because I find it quite traditional, although it's a aluminium handi, not a clay pot, but still it works good for me. I choose it for most of my special recipes, and this is Khejur Gurer Payas that's going to happen inside this handi. So I'm really excited about how it's going to finally change into something really beautiful. And Calcutta pudding is what this whole payas will take you to. And Calcutta pudding, my story from my book is has been actually inspired from this recipe only, and my grandmother used to make this recipe. So I'll tell you more. Let's begin the next process. So this is the date palm jaggery, and I have procured it from Amazon. In Delhi, you can find it in CR Park, Chittaranjan Park, which is also known as Kalkaji or Chittaranjan Park. And this is date palm jaggery I'm going to use, which is also known as the patali gur in Bengali. And this is the Govindabhog rice, which is mandatory for this payas because it has beautiful aroma that makes the payas even more rich, textured and tasty. And all good thing about this payas is this Govindabhog. This I have also procured from Amazon because I really did not get the time to go out and go to the market. So I have found it from Amazon. So let me take you to the next step. So we will have to keep it stirring, and let's bring it to its first boil. And I have learned this recipe from my grandmother actually. Although I've told you the story about this Khejur Gurer Payas, or maybe you can call it the date palm jaggery payas. And actually I prefer to call it Calcutta pudding because that's how my story got its birth. This whole recipe remains an inspiration, but I've used some other elements in it, so you can go ahead and read that from my book, my debut fiction, which is also available on Amazon. And those of you who really don't know me yet, you can subscribe to my channel. And I'm basically an author and a publisher, and this whole inspiration, I've told you earlier that my nieces, my nephews, as they keep coming and visiting us because they really enjoy being here, and we also love them so much that they felt that my recipes were something that I need to share with the world as well. So I thought, let's prepare them and also read few excerpts from the book while we are cooking. So it's going to be a beautiful combination of cooking some great recipes, something that I've learned from my mother, my grandmother, and also now that I'm married into this Pahari household, I have learned some recipes here as well. I'm going to share those with you. So now I will keep it stirring, and I've also washed the rice. I've taken 2 fistful of Govindabhog and I've soaked it in water so that it doesn't stick with each other, and also it will be easy for me to put it inside the milk. And it's not a very long process that you have to do because the rice is supposed to be cooked in this payas so that it becomes more textured, more creamier and tasty. So as you can see, the milk has come to its first boil. It's time now that we can add our rice to it. See, it has got its first boil and it's already looking so amazing. So now I'm going to add the rice into it, Govindabhog. And for 2 liters of milk, I've taken only 2 fistful of rice. Rice needs to be lesser in amount so that you reduce the milk to its creamy texture, and the rice needs to be cooked well. So it's a long process. You have to put it in sim and put it on simmer, and it will keep on simming for long. Now that I've added my rice, I'll give it a good stir. If you wish, you can add some cardamom powder maybe, but I don't prefer to add that. The milk is already smelling divine. I mean, I have just added the rice to it and I'm stirring it, and it's really smelling so aromatic, I can't tell you. Now that the milk has come to its first boil and the rice is already inside it, I am really excited to put this date palm jaggery, Khejur Gurer, that's what we call it in Bengali, and I'm really going to break it into small pieces so that it's easy for me to stir it as well. Although it's going to melt in the milk if I put it all like this whole block, but I guess I can save it a little bit for later. It's really hard actually, I have to tell you. So I'm saving a little amount only, and I'm putting all of it inside this milk. I could have broken it into pieces, but I actually am finding it difficult to break it. So I'm really going to slowly drop it inside the milk. Because it's 2 liters of milk, this much of quantity is absolutely required. And we really have a sweet tooth. I'm sorry, I have to tell you this. So this will start melting slowly. Now I'm a very raw cook, I have to tell you. This is my raw version of this first recipe video actually. Although by the blessing of God, whatever I cook, it turns out tasty, becomes delicious naturally. So see, the milk is already changing its color. If you can just see. As it will start melting, the milk will change its color. And this whole recipe, I really have to tell you, is extremely delicious and absolutely amazing when it's eaten in its cold form. Like, you have to put it in refrigerator and then let it sit there for 2 to 3 hours, and then it becomes even more creamy and thicker, and you are good to go to eat it because it's time to relish it. So slowly the milk has started changing its color, so you have to stir it for in between, and I would say in between, and also allow it to simmer in between. Let it come to tiny boils. Keep stirring. The milk has to become creamier, thicker, more like rabdi. When we prepare rabdi, you have to thicken the milk. It's just like that. But here the magic is of this Khejur Gurer and Govinda Bhog. It's a magical combination. This is a traditional Bengali recipe that I've learned from my grandmother, and I feel very proud of it that I've learned this amazing recipe. There's a story behind it why I learned, because during prayers and worships and some occasions where you had to give bhog to your gods and deities, whomever you believe in, whomever you follow. So this was the payesh that was given as bhog to devis, and so we have seen Ma Kali's pujo, grown up seeing Durga pujo. This was one of those recipes that I became fond of eating also, and also learning how to cook it. So I'm stirring it, just like I've said in the Calcutta pudding. Stir, stir and stir. That was how Devi used to find a way out of her anguish, her pain. And if you want to read more, just go ahead and pick up my book, Calcutta Pudding. So let it just simmer. And I'm just trying to smell the fragrance, and it's really, really divine. It's amazing. I have to tell you, it's already coming and spreading inside my house, and it's really, really amazing. I don't think that you are getting the exact color in the video, but when it's done, I will give you the close-up, some photographs, some snaps, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So I'm stirring it in between, and I have to show you that this is my book, Demigods Are Alive. And inside this book only, the story Calcutta Pudding is there. And you have to just pick this book up from Amazon or Flipkart. You can start reading this book. The story inside it is all because of this payasham, this payesh, Khejur Gurer Payas. See? I'll show you the story. The best part of this payesh is that it's totally healthy because it doesn't have sugar. Jaggery has its own health benefits. It has got iron, and it also increases your hemoglobin because jaggery is also a healthy substitute to sugar. So what a beautiful discovery, I would say. Not discovery, invention our forefathers have made by creating such an amazing payesh that not only tastes good, not good, I would say divine, but also it has all the health benefits because the whole milk will give you good amount of calcium. A little bit of indulgence is of course allowed, and it's not something that you eat daily. So desserts are something special on special occasions. So let it sit. It has to sit for a long time now because it has to simmer for an hour almost. It will come to its creamy texture slowly, and I have to keep stirring in between. As you can see, the milk has started reducing to from its actual quantity, and it's becoming creamier, thicker, and getting a beautiful color, the creamy color. Look at the caramel color it has attained, and see, now you can see the rice. It will still cook inside the milk only. Earlier I used to wonder when I was a child that how the rice gets cooked inside the milk, because when we are cooking rice in water, it takes less time and is cooked perfectly when you strain the water. And during making the payesh, you have to cook it for a long time. You have to let it sit on the flames for quite a long time, sometimes an hour. Yet the rice doesn't get sticky, doesn't get sticky and doesn't lose its texture. So this thing remains a mystery. If you know the reason, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So you can see the rice is still not cooked. It will take its time. And in between that, you can go ahead and read my book. See how amazing it has taken its color. The beautiful creamy texture has already started. Look at the mild coffee color that has come. It's the milder shade of this jaggery, Khejur Gurer. So look at the amazing texture that it has taken. You have to keep it stirring in between. You can see the rice is still not cooked, but it will take its time. I have to tell you this, that the inspiration for this payesh actually came from our senior editor Nandita De, because she and I were having a conversation one day and she was telling me that she had cooked Notun Gurer Payesh or Patali Gurer Payesh for her father, and somehow she made me recall this name because she ended her audio note by saying Calcutta Pudding. And that is the thing that remained in my mind. And I decided that I will order some date palm jaggery and Govinda Bhog, and I will create this Calcutta pudding and share the recipe with you. And you can see that how beautiful this pudding has taken its shape now into. Don't you think it's amazing? She called it Calcutta Pudding, and when for the first time she made it, the whole house was overflowing with the fragrance of the long grain rice and fresh cow milk simmering over low flame for hours. She found the ingredients by luck and chance both. One autumn day she took young Abbe for a walk into the town and through the stores to collect groceries.
While on their way, she found a small Indian store standing at one corner of the street. It was standing alone from the hustle and bustle of the market, and Devi immediately made up her mind to go inside and see what things were being sold there.
See, this has come to a perfect consistency and it has turned into this divine caramel color, beautiful texture, creaminess. The milk has become soft, and this is the perfect consistency that I need. If you cook it more, then the milk will dry up and you won't have the divine texture of it. That you get to have that creamy milk as well as the Govindabhog rice. So I'll just turn off the gas now. So now you can see that how creamier, thicker and rich it has become. Look at the texture. This is the consistency I needed, and I kept it in the fridge for 4 to 5 hours. And you must be thinking that I took 2 liters of full whole cream milk and now it seems half of its quantity. That's because the milk has become thicker, creamier, and look at the caramel color. It's its original color from the Khejur Gurer or the date palm jaggery. And now I'm going to pour myself an enjoyable amount of payas so that I can relish it with my book Demigods Are Alive. So if you enjoyed the recipe, do create it and enjoy serving it cold, chilled from the fridge, and enjoy serving it to your family members. They will also love it. Oh, so that was a lot of work. But now look at the results. My Calcutta pudding is ready to be eaten and I really want to relish it. Let's try this out. Pure bliss. So I really enjoyed cooking along with you Khejur Gurer Payas or Calcutta pudding or date palm jaggery with Govindabhog. The rice has become extremely textured. Look at the color, the caramel color. So go ahead, prepare this recipe and enjoy it with my book Demigods Are Alive and read that story Calcutta Pudding. You will understand that why I really wanted to share this recipe with you all, and I might be coming out with more recipes and some amazing books that I will read to you. Of course, from my publishing house, because I'm promoting the books from my publishing house. Yeah, but I also promote other authors and writers. There's another segment for that. So you can connect with me if you really want to be part of that. If you want to get interviewed from me and if you want to get your book reviewed by me. So till then, enjoy Khejur Gurer Payas. Bye all. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care.